guys, it's Melanie and welcome to today's video. I am super excited for today's video because it combines two things I love, which is crafts and Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is just a holiday that I get super excited for. I already did my Valentine's Day nails, probably my first set. I'm just a girly and I am so excited to get in the mood for Valentine's Day by making some fun little crafts. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be bringing you guys 5 different crafts. These are things you can do with your friends, you can do with your significant other, you could do by yourself just to get in the Valentine's Day mood. These would also make really great gifts either for friends or loved ones or your person. So hopefully this video helps you out a little bit, and even if you don't do any of these, hopefully it gets you in the Valentine's Day spirit. So let's get straight into our first DIY. To start off this video, we are going to be making some little bracelets. I feel like there's no better way to get in the mood than accessorizing. I think these would be so fun to also like give to your friends or give out instead of like candy as like Valentine's Day grams. I'm just planning on wearing these with my outfits because I think they're really easy to whip up and add a little bit to your fit. So let's get started. Anytime you're gonna make jewelry, it's of course very subjective and you can use whatever you like, but for these bracelets I'm gonna be starting off with just some stretchy cord. I'm gonna have these pliers, you can use scissors, and then you're just gonna choose whatever bead of your liking that you want on your bracelet. I have a couple more that are nice and pink and red and Valentine's Day themed. So we're just gonna start off with our cord. Never find the end of it. There we go. I just pretty much eyeball this. You want it to be at least long enough to cover your wrist, but I like to give a lot of extra length just so that it's easier to tie the knots. Then you're just going to snip it. And then super self-explanatory, you're just going to take whatever beads you have. I'm using these really dainty little beads because I think it would be nice to have like very small dainty bracelets just because the bracelets I wear are typically lighter. I have red and white. I don't want it to look like a candy cane, but I also have this gold. I'm taking inspiration from an image I found on Pinterest, so I thought it would be really fun to include these little heart beads, or I also have collected a little XOXO moment, which I thought would be really cute too. But honestly, this is all up to your own creativity. So we're just gonna start beading away, which is so therapeutic. I will say this would be such a fun little like Galentine's activity. Also wanted to note that since I'm using these really teeny tiny little beads, it's taking so long to thread, but I do find beading very therapeutic. So I'm gonna keep working on these for probably quite some time until I have a couple little bracelets for the Valentine season. And you have your cute little bracelet. I love it. This one's very simple. It matches my nails great, and I think it's so fun for a little pop of color, but I think I'm gonna make a couple more to go with this one so that I can have a nice little like wrist stack. Been a little bit and I ended up making 3 different bracelets. Let's try them on. They are so cute. I love them all stacked together. That is it for this first little craft. It's so fun and easy. For this next DIY, I will be combining two crafts. They're both like picture frame ideas, so I thought I could just group them together, especially because one of them is very simple. All you're gonna need are some frames. I thrifted one of them for a couple bucks. The other one I got from Daiso for like $1.50. These are also, once again, theme with my DIYs, very personalizable. What I had in mind for this was getting a small dainty gold frame. This idea is a lot more minimal minimalistic and simple. I think it would go great with a bouquet or, you know, in a gift basket or something like that. I also think this would be really sweet if you like wrote inside the frame or something like a, you know, heartfelt note. And then my second idea is more of a scrapbooky take, so it has a little bit more style and personal taste added into it. So I picked up some stickers that are also from Daiso for this idea, and then also I thrifted the frame, so I think that's a fun way to, you know, pick out a frame that represents you or whatever person you're giving this to. But we're gonna hop on over to my computer.
For the first more simple frame, I just took a photo that I really liked of my boyfriend and I filtered it in black and white on my phone and airdropped it to my computer and just adjusted the size to fit my frame perfectly. For the second frame, I was going for kind of like a vintage photo strip. I just took 4 photos from the same day and I lined them up. Then I just put a black rectangle as the background to serve as a border. Once I had both photos formatted the way that I liked, I just printed them and cut them out. For the first frame, I just put the single photo in. I lined it up with a picture that comes in it already to make sure I have the perfect measurement. This is pretty self-explanatory, but if you want to add something more, I suggest taking the back off and getting a ribbon. You can tie it in a bow. You don't even have to glue it or anything. You could just put it in the frame and then put the backing back in and secure it tightly, and this can serve as a really cute little bow hanger.
Okay guys, so I just finished this first frame and it is so cute. Like, I'm gonna use this as my normal room decor. Alone, the frame is super adorable, but I also just added this little like ribbon. I just think it adds so much. It's so cute and literally so quick. Like, it took like 2 minutes.
On to the second more scrapbooky frame. I started by gathering all my supplies. I cut out the little photo strip that I showed you guys how I made earlier. Instead of using plain paper, I thought it would be really cool to use some fabric, specifically this quilted fabric for a little texture. So I just cut that out to fit the size of my frame, and then I just went ahead, put the photo straight onto the quilted fabric and added some stickers on top to hold it in place. I then just put it in the frame and folded the excess part of the photo over and placed it back into the frame with the backing.
Guys, I just finished my second frame and it's so cute. You can definitely add more if you want. You could even add more photos, but I'm kind of digging how simple this looks, and I like the little quilted fabric that I used in the background. But this is what my second frame looks like, and I think it's so cute. New day, but we are making some more Valentine's Day DIYs, and I'm really excited for this one because it's not so much room decor, it's car decor, which is something I've been a little more into recently. I've been seeing these little tiny bouquets, Pinterest, or maybe got an Instagram ad for it, and I thought it was really cute, and I was just wondering if there was any way I could make one for myself. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna start off with some of this floral tape and just some thin wire. Just using my wire cutters, I'm gonna cut as many pieces of wire I want for however many flowers I want. So I think I'm gonna do 5. Up to you if you want them to be like similar lengths or a little different. Mine are probably like 1.5 inches. Now I'm just taking my floral tape, and one at a time I'm going to wrap each of these little pieces of wire.
Turns out making these flowers actually takes a lot of concentration, so I literally stopped talking when I was making them. So here I am doing a voiceover. Now that I got the hang of it, it's pretty simple. I did this technique of putting little dots of glue, laying the ribbon down and holding it so that the hot glue could dry, and then I kind of fold it back over itself. You continue to add little dots of glue and laying the ribbon down and folding it back over itself. Continue to wrap the ribbon around itself until your little flower slash rose is as thick as you'd like. And this is what my 5 finished little flowers look like. And so I just bunched them together, and I ended up using some tissue paper cut into a small square, and then I just wrapped it as if I was wrapping a real bouquet, and I used a little piece of tape to secure it. I also decided to use a tiny thin ribbon and tie a bow around it for a finishing touch. And lastly, I just hot glued this tiny little mini paper clip on the back, and this is what I used to secure my little bouquet in my car.
Guys, this mini bouquet is so cute. I really love how it turned out. I also think that if I didn't use like this little clip to clip it onto my car, it would be really cool if I turned it into like even a little magnet or something for the fridge. I love how this turned out, and I've always wanted a mini bouquet for my car. On to the next Valentine's craft. I always have to include some kind of clothing item because of course I want to plan my Valentine's Day outfit in advance, something to go along with the cute little bracelets I made. All you're gonna do is thrift a plain sweater. This is the one I got. It's just this cream color. It's kind of like cable knit. It's from Old Navy, super simple, like $5. Vision, I think I'm going to keep it a little more minimal by just putting little hearts around the collar, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. We have my sweater. The only other things you're going to need for this craft, some yarn. You could also use embroidery thread, and then you're going to need some thick needles. I'm going for a very dainty look. I just want to put little hearts in between each of these ribs. I'm just going to cut a piece probably 2 feet. I threaded some cotton yarn to match the sweater, making these tiny little miniature hearts, and it's actually super simple. I'm just going to go to the back, stick my needle through where I want the top of the heart to be, which is up here. I pull the yarn all the way through. I thread back down here where I want the bottom of my heart to be, and put the needle back up at the top where I want the top of the heart to be. So I have one side, and then I'm just gonna thread back down into the same point where the bottom is. And then I have a tiny little heart, and I think I'm just gonna keep doing this along the entire collar. It is midday coffee o'clock. Felt like a very millennial thing for me to say. Just gonna keep working on my little sweater. I just finished my sweater. This is what it looks like up close. I will completely admit that when you're not looking at them like close up, you maybe cannot even tell that they're hearts, which part of me is like, maybe that's good because then I can wear it year round. The other thing I was thinking of while I was doing this is how easy it is to just snip the thread and pull the entire thing out. Like, you're not damaging the sweater at all. So if you want this for a one-day Valentine's Day wear and you don't want the hearts anymore, you just take it out. That is it for this little craft, and I'm still definitely gonna wear this on Valentine's Day. Alright guys, for the fifth and final Valentine's inspired DIY, we have none other than your typical Valentine's candygram. I can't even call it a candygram. Like, yeah, you can stick candy to it, and I probably will, but it's basically just a cute Valentine's Day card. Let's get started. I have a bunch of supplies here, basically all the cute pink and red paper. I have some of my favorite little heart stickers that I used earlier in this video. And then I also am going to use the yarn and needles from the last craft because I want to add a little embroidery into some of my candygram designs. Maybe candygram is not the right word, but it's sticking. So we're gonna start off by cutting out a good old heart. I do not like this heart. I need to fix it. It's really ugly. That's better. What are we thinking? Pink, this lighter pink too. Handy dandy glue stick. I think I'm gonna do a pink trim. So here's what we do. Glue stick. I feel like such a second grader during arts and crafts time, and I love it. Glue down, trim. I think I'm gonna do the same thing and give it some white trim too. Except I want this trim to be like ruffled. It's a bit later now and I finished both my little Valentine grams. I only made 2 of them. I actually had so much fun channeling my inner child into making these, and I think I'm just gonna eventually write a little note on the back, and I think I'm gonna stick like a chocolate bar or something to them, or like their favorite candy, but I think they're really cute. I used like yarn to thread this one, and I tied a little bow on top, and then for this one I threaded the actual ribbon, which as you can see I had a couple little mess ups, and then I tied a little bow at the top, and I got a little carried away doodling on this one and with the stickers. I don't know, I just had a lot of fun making these. That is my final DIY for this Valentine's Day video.
Hey friends, it's Editing Melanie here, just to end off this video and say thank you so much for watching this. Hopefully it inspired you for this Valentine's Day season and you can share these crafts with yourself or your loved ones. But other than that, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye guys.